Hi friends, I'm going to go over a few different ways that we practice making our K or C sound in speech therapy. So first, the first thing we see is can they make the K on their own? So sometimes they may have errors in words, so they may say tuck or tut for duck, but if you ask them to go k, they actually can do it. So if they can, then we can skip some of these other steps that we do in speech therapy. But if they cannot, there's a few different things that I like to try to get them to make their k sound. One, I always tell them to start with their mouth open as big as they can. So sometimes just opening their mouth and kind of tilting their head back will pull their tongue back far enough to make the K. So going like this, ah, k, k. And you can kind of see the back of my tongue lifting up, and that's where we make our K. So sometimes I'll say, oh, we're going to make our K, we're going to open really big, and I'll point here and show them to open back. Sometimes I'll even kind of have my finger on their chin to show them to keep that jaw open. So sometimes they can make it that way, other times they may need more help. That's when we use the tongue depressor in speech. I'll let you know if I want you to try to use a spoon or something at home, but sometimes it helps to put the tongue or the tongue depressor on the tip of the tongue. Other times they're pushing so much that they're just going to find a way to get around it. So what I like to do is I kind of call, like we're popping open our, a tent or something. I'm going to use the tongue depressor behind where right now their tongue is probably going behind their teeth, what we call their alveolar ridge, the gums behind your top teeth. They're probably going up here. So I'm going to put the tongue depressor blocking that area so they can't do that. So if I put my tongue depressor here and they try to say cat but with a T, it should sound like this. Cat, cat. So I'm still lifting my tongue up, but it's teaching them to start pushing their tongue back because this is blocking their view. So I don't put it right behind the teeth like this, because then they can still get their tongue back there. But if I kind of angle it a little like this, it's harder for them to get their tongue there. So in speech, sometimes we'll wash our hands, and sometimes I will have them practice with their own finger. So they take their finger like this, ah, cat, cat. So even though it's not perfect, it is keeping their tongue from going up. So depending on speech, we may push it down like this. Other times we may put it behind their teeth. And they can also practice that at home. You can always ask, and I can send home tongue depressors and they can use this. Other things that we practice in speech for K is laying all the way on the ground and tilting our head back. So you never want your head down this way. I always kind of adjust their jaw so they're tilting their head back. And sometimes that extra gravity of laying on the ground will help them get their tongue back as well. With K, it just takes lots and lots and lots of practice, and all of a sudden they get it. Once they do get their K, it's the same thing that I've been showing you in some of the other videos. I want them to make the K by themselves, and then I do this to show them to open when they say the rest of their word. So if the word is, I'm trying to think of one, if the word is keep, I want them to go k, or open k, k, eep. So I want them to keep their mouth open and make the vowel sound before they close their mouth. So if they close their mouth, it would sound like k, teep or k, deep. So I want them to cough, k, eep. And they can do that when they start practicing their sound in words. But the big thing is either tongue depressor or finger if they need it, k, or just showing them to keep their mouth open, tilt back. K, k. They can have their finger here. Sometimes it helps to smile, because when you smile, you're kind of stretching it out, and you can see if they're opening their mouth wide enough, and if they're pushing their tongue back. So those are just a few little tidbits to help try to get the K. Once they get that K sound, cough, then keep your mouth open to make the rest of the word. K, R, K, E. And same thing when they do K in different positions in words.